In this video, we will discuss about the design a Turing machine which is in the form of the A power n, B power n, C power n which accept this string. Let us consider this language and the strings which are formed by using A power n, B power n, C power n whether n greater than 1. Now we solve that A, B, C is one string. Is in this type there are many number of strings. Input strings are taken by using the following condition. Let us construct the tuning machine for this. Consider an example string which is Q naught be the initial state. For this, the main functionality of this Turing machine is read A and make it as X and search for the B and make it as Y and search for two C's and make these two C's as Z and search for the second A and make this A as X and search for the second B, first A, first B, second A, second B and make this second B as Y and search for the another two C's and make them as Z. For this, a string which is followed by the equal number of A's followed by the equal number of B's followed by the its double number of the A's and B's. For this, when we read A, then we make A as X in the direction or at this pointer is started here, then A can be make as X and it move to the direction or then we make this X as X and the pointer is at here. Now we will search for the first B. Q0 to Q1 state. When we make this A as X, then state changes to Q1 and A becomes X. In the pointer is at here. For searching first B, we ignore this second A by simply put self loop A as A and direction right. Whenever we ignore this, then the pointer moves to right, then it finds the first B value. Whenever we find the first B value, make this B as Y and the direction is R. Then make this B as Y and we move to the direction R. Now the pointer is at here. The state changes to Q1 to Q2. After making this B as Y, we search for the two C's because the C is 2 power n. We search for two C's. For these two C's, the pointer is at here. We ignore this B simply by self looping it. A B remains as B and the pointer moves to right side. Now the pointer is here. Whenever we see our first C value, make this C as Z and moves to right. This makes as Z and we move to right. The state changes from Q2 to Q3. Next we can make this second C as Z. Then C make as Z and the direction is changes to left side and the state changes to Q4. That means for 1A, for 1B, we make two C's as Z. 1:1:2. By this, the string is accepted. We make this A as X, this B as Y, and these two C's are Z. Now the pointer is at here. After making this C as Z, the pointer moves to the left. Now the pointer is at here. Now this pointer will search for the second A and make this as X, and search for second B and make this as Y, and make these two C's as Z. For this we ignore this Z value by simply putting self loop Z as Z in the direction left. Now the pointer moves from this to this. Here this is the pointer. Now we simply ignore B as B and it moves to left. Now the pointer is at here. Now we ignore this Y as Y and it moves in the direction left. Now the pointer is at here. Now the pointer is at here. Now then A remains as A and its direction moves to L. Now the pointer is at X. From left to right we reach X. Whenever we reach X, now the pointer is at here. X remains as X and its direction changes from left to right. The pointer is from left. Now whenever it meets X, Q4 is changes into Q0 and the direction is changes into right. Now the pointer is at here. Now the state is Q0. When Q0 A is the input, then we make this A as X and move to the right. Then we simply make this Y as Y and it goes in direction right. We found the second B and made this B as Y and moves in the direction right. When we found this Z remains Z and moves in the direction right. Now the pointer is at here. This Z remains the Z and moves in direction R. This Z also remains as Z and moves in direction R. Now the pointer is at here. By seeing the first C, this C value becomes Z. C value becomes Z and it moves to right. And it moves to right. Now the pointer is at here. Now this C value, now state changes to Q3, and Q3 the next C value become as Z and the pointer move towards to the left. Now the pointer is at here and the state is Q4. Whenever in Q4 the Z remains as Z and it moves to the left. Now the pointer is at here. Similarly, this Z also remains same and the pointer moves to here. Similarly, this Z also remains same and the pointer moves to this. This Y remains as Y and the pointer moves to this. This Y also remains same as Y and the pointer moves to X. The pointer is here. Whenever X is read in Q4 state, then simply it goes to Q0 state. The X remains as X and its direction is changed towards to the right. Now the pointer is at here Y. Then it is in state Q0. From Q0 to Y there is no input. Then simply Y make as Y and direction is R. Simply the pointer is at here Y. This Y makes as Y and moves to the rightwards and the state changes to Q5 and put a self loop for this Y, or in if we consider a lengthy string there are many number of Y's. For this we made the self loop Y as Y and direction moves to R. Next the pointer, ignore these two and it will move to Z. Whenever it reaches Z, Z remains as Z and its direction moves to right and the state changes to Q6. Now the pointer is at here. For this Z, we make an self loop. Z belongs to Z as Z, and the direction is right. Now the pointer is at here. This Z is comes under this self loop, and the state not change, and the pointer moves to this, and this Z also comes under the same state, and now the pointer is at blank. Whenever we reach blank, blank remains as blank, and the direction is moves to right, which is then the state changes Q6 to Q7, which is the final state. In input type, there will be present many number of the blanks is possible. For this, put a self loop, blank remains as blank and moves in the direction R. This is the final state. This is the Turing machine for A power n, B power n, C power 2n. Then we write the transition functions. Transition function simply write as transition function state, present state, what input we are giving A, and if you give input A to this Q0, this Q0 changes to Q1, and this A changes as X, and in which direction? Right. Similarly, for all this state Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q7, Q6, Q5, every state can be represented as a transition function Q1 to Q7 with every input, with every single input equal to the state which is followed by the state, and what is the symbol which can be changed in which direction. For every state we need to write this transition function. This is the diagram for the Turing machine for the A power n, B power n, C power 2n. In similar way, A power 2n, B power n, C power n, which is also look like the same, but this part as A comes under this starting.